We do know that there has been transport vans sent to the location to pick up the cheerleaders and get them on their way home back to Mesa, Arizona. KMIR's Vince Marino also on the scene, completing our coverage tonight. Vince, what can you tell us from where you are?
Jeff? Yeah, Gino, I'm about 150 yards away. As you can see, this is where the bus, that tour bus, ended up. I'm about 150 yards away from where the big rig crashed just behind me. Take a look at these tire tracks here. This tour bus, for about 150 yards, was driving basically on this center divider here and finally came to a rest right here. Of course, as we know, the cheerleaders were on this bus. There were 32 of them. They were on their way to Phoenix for a competition, and judging by the looks on their faces, it was one of shock. Some of them were coming out of the bus. You could see that they had been crying. They were getting into these transport vehicles here, and I asked them, what was it like to be inside of that the tour bus when you were coming inside in the center median, and they just said it was very, very scary. We wanted to talk to them and get an interview with one of them, but they're actually being transported now. None of them are on the bus anymore. All of them are being packed up into these cars here. If you could just take a shot of that there. You see those two black vehicles. They're being loaded up onto those vehicles and they're being taken away. But obviously you can imagine this is a very, very scary situation for them. The fire department was handing them water. They looked, hot. Obviously, they were on that tour bus without any air conditioning, so they looked very kind of worn out and hot. The fire department was handing them water. The big rig driver is okay. Again, it was about four injuries between minor and moderate. A woman on the westbound side who was traveling on the westbound side actually saw the big rig cross the center divider. It was already on fire, crossed the center divider, and then came up onto the westbound side of the freeway. Didn't hit any cars on the westbound side of the freeway, but you can imagine all of this chaos kind of going on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Westbound traffic here has been stopped on the 10 freeway, completely shut down. No one coming through on the 10 westbound side of the freeway. Eastbound side of the freeway is moving slowly, but it is moving. Again, the westbound side of the 10 has been shut down. The cheerleaders are being taken away. Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt in this crash. 3 to 4 minor to moderate injuries. Gino?
Vince, thank you for that. Vince, describe the damage to the bus right behind you there. It almost looks like it was hit in two separate spots.
Yeah, there's two. Obviously, there was the big rig that was involved. This is where that big rig slammed into the tour bus. It was trying to not hit the traffic. There was an abrupt traffic stop. The big rig was on the right side of the freeway. This tour bus was on the left side, the left lane, and that big rig crashed right here onto the right side of the bus. Obviously, the tour bus went into the center divider and traveled for, like I said, about 150 yards before it finally came to the stop here. The big rig crossed the center divider, crossed it, adjacent, and went right into the 10 westbound side of the freeway. But you're looking at the damage that was done to this tour bus. And of course, they got some of the windows open here. I don't know, Jeff, you want to show that really quick? They got some of the windows open here because the bus was non-operational. It was really, really hot in there, and they opened some of these windows to get some air running in there. Again, those cheerleaders have been loaded up to these vans here, these transport vehicles. They're being taken away now.
All right, Vince Marino, thank you for that. We will